Today we will climb Girnar, the mountain where Dattatreya did his tapasya.
We are starting on the way to Girnar, up there where Dattatreya is.
I'm very excited to climb Girnar. He is the deity of the wandering monks, of the sadhus, of the avadutas, of the ever-free beings. Before we left for the mountain, I spoke with Guruji on the phone and he said, "You will meet Dattatreya." And I was wondering how I would recognize him. And he said, "Just watch out for an old sadhu in orange clothes with a stick and dreadlocks." I kind of found it funny because in India you find many sadhus with dreadlocks and a stick. But he said, if you look into his eyes, you will recognize if it is him. From here the ascent starts with 10,000 steps to reach where Dattatreya was sitting, where he did his tapasya and where his padukas are. On the first part of the walk, there's many shops which were still closed, maybe because of the early morning hours and also probably because of the cable car which was built till halfway of the mountain. Here you can hear Sandeep breathing, and I thought already he will not last 10,000 steps if after a few hundred he's already sounding like he's about to die.
165 and we are already sweating.
In fact, at some point he couldn't anymore. He felt sick and
We are reaching 500 steps.
decided to turn around.
So Sandeep wasn't feeling well, so he turned back and carrying on the path.
This was the first place where I looked into to check if there's somebody, you never know, who might be hiding in any of those caves. But nobody was here. Maybe he's sitting inside here. He wasn't. Kept on walking till I reached the middle station, where different temples are, especially a few Jain temples. I took darshan of the deities, sometimes not even knowing who is the deity of the temple. The mountain range in this beautiful nature, under the blue sky and the sunshine, is just something which is heart-opening. While walking, I kept my eyes open, but the only sadhu I met didn't fall into the descriptions of Guruji. I almost reached the top of the mountain, and yet I haven't met anybody. And while I was almost giving up the idea to meet Dattatreya, I saw on the pathway an elderly sadhu with some orange clothes, some white dreadlocks, a beard and a stick. The closer I came, I looked into his eyes, and his eyes were just full with compassion and love. And I do not know if it was the heat, the exhaustion of the walking, but I fell at his feet, grabbed his feet, and tears were flowing. I was happy to meet this sadhu. After that I put myself together. I tried to have some conversation and to exchange a mala with him. We didn't understand each other.
Germany se hai.
Because my Hindi was not good enough. After spending some minutes with him, I went up the final steps to get darshan of the padukas of Dattatreya. Some years back you could even touch the padukas. Now they barricaded everything and you are supposedly not even allowed to make a picture. Still, I tried to get a little glimpse of this sacred place. And on the way back, I met this mysterious sadhu again. And by some sort of providence, there were some youngsters around which spoke English and translated all that the sadhu said.
मैं कहा था ना एक कुछ एक्सीडेंट हुआ करके मोटी लड़की गिर गई करके मोटी यही से भाई मतलब नॉर्मल
ये बेटा मेरा बेटी मेरी पुत्र मेरा मकान मेरा दुकान मेरी ना तेरा ना मेरा चिड़िया रैन बसेरा है आज आना है कल जब छोड़ चला जाना है इसको कहते हैं जब मुसाफर खाना
जानता सब कुछ है लेकिन मानने को तैयार नहीं।
हाँ भगवान सही है
इंसान जानता whenever we go we don't
मानने के लिए
when we go
भक्ति में शक्ति है भगत
He was walking, constantly chanting Om and telling people that he is free, that they are bound, that the idea of I and mine is an inner prison. He, on the other hand, is free. Today he is here, tomorrow he is there. Wherever he wants to go, he can go. He is free.
my friend is saying
I walked with him and enjoyed his company.
Could be.
ask him hey kahan hai you are in YouTube
Yes.
yes he
The youngsters followed us, and one of them even said that he recognizes me. We drank some water, I got the prasad from the Baba, and I invited him to have some juice. I asked the youngsters to translate if he would like to exchange a mala, and he readily agreed. I could choose a mala of my liking, and I gave him my Rudraksh mala. At one temple, he took my hand and brought me to the samadhi of a saint, took off the mala I gave him, blessed it at the samadhi, and gave it back to me. And then we walked almost the whole way down to the foot of Girnar. Every now and then he stopped and called me over. "Aho Maharaj, Beto, come here, sit down." And he shared some wisdom. The young boy was translating, asked for some blessings, and at a certain point, Baba decided to lay down and said he will wait for one of his friends and we should carry on with our journey. We paid our respect and went down to our lodging.
500 steps left. How many was there?
20,000 was there now only 500 are left
So 19,500.
yes
When I told Sandeep, he was happy that I met the Sadhu Guruji prophesied, and on one side said that he didn't, but he also will come to the pleasure of meeting him in the end of the second day.
After a beautiful day in Girnar yesterday and very beautiful encounter, we are today looking for some places close by here.
Kashmiri
We go to Kashmiri Baba and then to...
there's one more place
There's one more place. Basically he doesn't know the name. Check it.
Kashmiri Baba's ashram is somewhere in the jungle. It's a really beautiful place.
they're lions Swami Aniruddha
He's not afraid because Sandeep is a more tasty food.
I don't think so. They don't want stale meat. They want fresh red meat.
Look at
They,
this.
सीताराम ओम नमो नारायण Careful.
After visiting the ashram, having darshan of his successor and getting some banana and curd, here we get some fresh fruits from the tree. We were brought back with the motorcycle to our car.
Not womanized, but it will be less space.
Then we went around to look for more saints and we came to an akara. To be honest, I didn't like the atmosphere in this place at all. I don't know if it was because I was so tired and it was hot or because it was just a little bit dodgy. Nevertheless, we spent some time there and even witnessed an initiation of one sannyas. We got the mala of their guru and off we went. We took our bags and got ready for our journey to Somnath, the Jyotirlingam in Gujarat. But before we left the city, we had another encounter with our dear Baba, Dattatreya. We shared a few words and he gave us his blessings and we traveled to Somnath. But that is another story.